What's up, everybody? It's Stan Grubb for Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio and the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Hey, join us every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as the triple threat of wrestling radio goes live every week, giving you their thoughts and opinions on the world of professional wrestling. Myself, Brian, and Rob, all live, all here for you. And as my good friend Rob would say, from corner to corner and pillar to post, we bring it to you every week at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. BeyondRingside.com and ProWrestlingRadio.net. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Corner, live right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. We are live in a multiple location station. The triple threat is together this evening. We are joined from Virginia Beach. Rob Hefner, what's up?
What's happening? Actually, I moved up to the coast in Maryland. But yeah.
Boy, you got the short end of that stick. Brian, what's going on?
What's up? What's going on?
And, of course, we are joined by that producer guy. You know him and love him as Fast Eddie Lane. What's up, Eddie?
Canadian bacon, pineapple, extra cheese, happy fat man.
I think Eddie's having some pizza. Otherwise, it just sounds creepy. Well, normally when we start off the show, we dive right in, see how everybody's week has been. However, only a couple of hours before we came on air tonight, got some news that it's a little bit of a bummer, but I wanted to go ahead and share this with everyone. Corner to Corner, the Beyond Ringside network of shows, and all of our friends and family would like to pass our condolences to the Hart family, as Smith Hart passed away today. There was a post on Facebook today, basically an obituary, so I'd like to go ahead and just share that with you. It's a little bit long, so bear with me. On November 28, 1948, Stu and Helen Hart welcomed what would be the first of an eventual brood of 12 children when Smith Stewart Hart was welcomed into the world in Long Island, New York. Smith was not only loved by Stu and Helen, but was the treasured nephew of Helen's three adoring sisters, who dotted upon Smith as their own. Called away to purchase the Stampede Wrestling territory, Stu and Helen left the infant Smith in the care of Helen's parents. Smith's grandfather, who was an Olympic miler, and who had set the world record for the mile in 1908, was particularly fond of his first grandchild, as he had only fathered daughters and was finally getting the chance to raise the son he had also wished. When Smith was 3, he returned to live in Calgary with his parents, who by this time had been joined by younger siblings Bruce and Keith. Smith found the transition challenging, as he was adored in New York by his aunts and grandparents, but found discipline and rules under his parents' roof. Go figure, Stu Hart had discipline. Soon after, the family was joined by Dean and Wayne. It would eventually be followed by Ellie, Brett, Georgia, Ross, Allison, Diana, and finally Owen. Growing up was not an easy task, as oftentimes gates were low and the family went without. The family stuck together and overcame every adversity as a unit. Smith would go on to graduate from the University of Calgary with a degree in English literature, which clearly I don't have. In 1972, Smith and his then-girlfriend Maria would welcome the first grandchild to Stu and Helen, Toby. That year, Smith was sent to work and study in Japan for International Wrestling Enterprise, a promotion he would hold multiple championships in. After a year in Japan, Smith would begin working regular tours of England, Scotland, Germany, the Netherlands, and other European countries, wrestling for top companies such as the original World of Sport. It was here that he originally discovered Davey Boy Smith. Although Bruce is credited with bringing Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid to Canada originally, it was Smith who made the first discovery. In 1978, Smith and brother Brett would discover the island paradise of Puerto Rico. Stampede protégés Carlos Colon and Victor Jovica had opened up a territory and were bringing in a multitude of Stampede Wrestling stars to launch the product. Smith and Brett promptly won the tag team championships. Smith would eventually meet his beautiful bride Maria in Puerto Rico, and together welcomed daughter Centania, I hope I pronounced that right, to the world. Smith found solace in the island nation and made it his home for many years between tours. Smith would retire from the ring officially in 1986 and would take to training the next generation of wrestlers. Smith, alongside brothers Bruce, Keese, and Ross, helped train such notable stars as Chris Benoit and Jushin Thunder Liger. The late 80s to the early 90s saw a boom in the popularity of the Hart family as Brett and Owen became international and global superstars that put a spotlight on the family as never before. After the passing of Smith's wife Maria, Smith fell in love with the beautiful Leanne, with whom sons Michael and Matthew were born to. In the late 90s, Smith would move his family to Cambridge, Ontario, to launch a wrestling school. Partnered with the former WWF star Waldo Von Erich, the school would produce some of the best talent of this generation, including Eric Young, the Highlanders' Rory and Robbie McAllister, Ty Dillinger, and many more. Smith's involvement in the school became limited as he was called back to Calgary, embroiled in a custody battle over his youngest child, Chad, with whom he had with a lady named Zoe. One of Smith's biggest regrets in life would always be the fact that he was not able to raise his son, Chad, directly and missed incredible amounts of time. Smith was an avid environmentalist, a humanitarian, a comical jokester, a creative force, and ultimately the proverbial heart of the Hart family. Damn. Predeceased by his parents Stu and Helen, his siblings Owen and Dean, his wives Maria, Marla, Leanne, and Zoe, he is now survived by his beautiful children Toby, Santania, Michael, Matthew, and Chad, as well as his grandchildren Allison, Jessica, and Isabella. Today, Smith lost his long, arduous battle with cancer. This will be the last post from this account. God bless you, Smith. Well done. And that's, I'm assuming that's from a family member or a family friend. Beautifully written. I wish I could have read it as well as it was written, but definitely our thoughts here from Beyond Ringside and Corner to Corner to the Hart family.
Amen.
I agree. Amen.
I remember interviewing Smith about 5 years ago, and he spent, much like Ivan Koloff and also Harley Race later in Crystal Rage's career, I suppose, gave us a lot of his time and was very giving different stories from the road. And he was also very vocal on Facebook about the current product. So it's tough to see anybody lose their battle with cancer, but God, he was born in 48. That's a long life, a long full life. So hopefully the Hart family moves on, and that's, today is also Bret Hart's birthday. Kind of a crappy gift to have on that birthday, but happy birthday to Bret.
Happy birthday.
So, let's go from some sad news to some things that are more upbeat. We got a lot going on this week. New Japan Wrestling debuted on Access Television with G1 Special. They didn't debut, I'm sorry. They debuted the G1 Special. There we go. With the United States title tournament. Brian, you're currently keeping track of night 2, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I am.
Tell us about what you got going on right now.
All right. So right now it's LIJ, Los Ingobernables de Japón versus CMLL in a big 10-man match. Don't get me started on some of the names. And then I'll tell you about this, what is it, semifinals? Yeah, semifinals for the U.S. title. Omega beat Lethal. And then Ishii beat Zack Sabre Jr. So the final should be Omega versus Ishii, which should be a hard-fought contest. Be very, very strong style. And then I missed the first match. I thought it was last night, but I made that mistake. So that's about where we're at. I think that catches us up pretty well.
Now, we were all in different spots last night, but we were all watching night 1 of the G1 in the USA tournament and also the undercard as well as the main event, which was Cody challenging Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. This was a hell of a presentation stateside for New Japan, and as Brian described, set a precedent. So you're going to have a lot of people out there right now paying a lot more attention to what New Japan is doing, and maybe a lot less people worrying about what WWE is doing.
Well, I think it just showed, especially if some of the younger audience watched it, that there is to me, a better product out there, and you don't need convoluted storylines. You don't need, to hold two of the same matches within a 3-day span of each other and then have the exact same result. You know what I'm saying? So there is a better product, and hopefully we'll get to see more of it. But I don't know about y'all, but I enjoyed the crap out of both nights so far.
Rob, what'd you take away from night one?
I thought it was really good. I thought the product was clear and concise. And as Brian said, like the storylines, like there aren't many storylines, but the ones like, Okada versus Omega, like the build up to their match, was it last week or a couple weeks ago? Like it was just a month or a month and a half in the making, but and then last night they had the big match with the individuals in it that are going to fight tonight, and I thought it was really well. I thought it was really good. The place I'm staying at doesn't have Wi-Fi, but they have Access TV, so that's good. But I liked it. I thought it was really nice. I really liked the tag team of the
Gorillas of Destiny.
Gorillas of Destiny. I really liked them. I really liked the War Machine. That match was really good. And as my son was watching it with me, he was just like, wow. He's like, Dad, the Bullet Club is everywhere. And I said, yeah. I said, just imagine if the WWE would get on board with the Bullet Club idea. How even more massive it would be, since the founders of the Bullet Club are working for WWE. But I really liked Ross, and I liked the commentary. The commentary was really nice, and it was like Ross of old. But yeah. Sorry, did I say something wrong?
No, Eddie, we were just talking about this before we came on the air just a little while ago. Eddie, what was your takeaway from night one?
Night one, Jim Ross is the most sickeningly unprofessional announcer in the human history, should retire and move to Alaska in the coldest, darkest part. Never to touch a microphone ever again, especially if you can't do research and get the Briscoe brothers right. Other than that, let's see. Speaking of Los Ingobernables, I didn't know that they had a DX NWO feel. I thought that was the Bullet Club's gimmick.
Yeah, that's the Bullet Club.
Yeah, and Jim Ross said that twice during the Los Ing match. He abbreviated Los Ing for Los Ingobernables because I screwed it up twice during the 5:30 show. I think New Japan had a tremendous first outing with the commentary not involved in the mix. With them in the mix, it sounded like an episode of Teen Titans Go, which is sickeningly horrible in my book. Josh Barnett, basically with the slur that he put on Juice Robinson, Jim Ross makes the comment, Juice has got quite the female following. And Barnett follows up with, hey, with all the rainbow he's wearing, he might develop a male following too. Really?
Wow.
Really?
I didn't catch that.
Oh, I did. Both times it aired.
Oh, damn.
The main event, Okada Cody. First off, Jim, if you keep saying the word Rhodes, you're going to end up getting New Japan sued. How many times did he call Cody Rhodes? And not just Cody like he's supposed to. So,
yeah, and then one time he's like, well, that's his given name or something.
No, it ain't. It's Runnels.
The artist formerly known as...
He said Cody Rhodes. I mean, Cody is in the ring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, he hasn't gone through Taff Cappy School, the artist formerly known as Prince Iakea.
No, not Ikea. WCW throwback.
I like that ring gear though. Cody's
Cody's
entrance was pretty cool.
That was awesome. And I will say this, with the exception of the artificially and manufactured drama that they were trying to build between Kenny and Cody, the match was great. The main event was a main event in every sense of the word. But when you kept trying to get, okay, we're going to eke the wife up to ringside, we're going to give her the towel, you need to throw in the towel, and they're trying to cause the dissension and show that Kenny and the Bucks are still leaders of the Bullet Club, we get it. You tried too hard, though.
Well, that kind of stems from, what was the last one they had?
I know. Trust me, I understand. But they tried too hard. They could have done a lot more in a short amount of time and conveyed the point a lot more clearly. And plus, 3 8+ man tag team matches. I know it's in New Japan's formula, but I think it's just too much. 1 or 2, great. Change the other 8 man to a scramble.
Ooh.
Or a gauntlet. You know.
Nice.
But other than that, like I said, in all sincerity, excellent outing for the first live United States show. New Japan has got some great building blocks in place, and I really hope that they do build even higher.
All right, so CMLL just beat LIJ in a 10-man match. We're bringing to you results that quick. Bam.
So, Brian, you mentioned that there was a teaser from Cody Rhodes saying he had major news.
No.
Major surprise.
Yeah. So Cody put down a tweet earlier from ringside and basically says that there is going to be a major surprise tonight from the Bullet Club, and it's pretty much going to how do I put this? Basically solidify the Bullet Club as the top in New Japan.
And leading some fuel to the fire, the Young Bucks tweet out today, on the 30th, a little group photo of the Bullet Club in all of their glory to one CM Punk. And also how does one describe this emoji? A kissy face?
Well,
I know it's pipe dreaming, but how awesome would that be to see CM Punk?
If anybody has a picture of the Young Bucks and CM Punk as, say, a Cracker Barrel, I'll say it's a done deal.
And everyone hit the Google.
That seems to be the top recruiting spot for the Young Bucks is Cracker Barrel.
Also going on tonight is Slammiversary 15 or 16, Eddie?
15.
15.
Who cares?
They started live at 7:30 Eastern Time. Let's do some rundown.
The bingo hall.
Do the rundown of the results so far. Ali and Braxton Sutter and Mahabali Shera versus Laurel Van Ness, Kyle Matthews, and Congo Kong. Ali, Braxton, and Shera won that matchup. The Impact Tag Team Championships, LAX defending against Drago, and Hijo del Fantasma versus the Laredo Kid, and Garza Jr. versus Marufuji and Ishimori. The winners of that contest was LAX, retaining the Impact Championships. Grand Champion Moose and NFL star D'Angelo Williams went against Chris Adonis and Eli Drake. Winners of that matchup after a frog splash from the top rope down to Chris Adonis on a table. Moose and the gentleman who did the frog splash, D'Angelo Williams. I gotta say, I hope to see that.
Oh, wait. Look at that. All right, so sorry to interrupt there, Stan.
I can't. We're not watching it.
It's radio. They can't see.
Not my fault. Not my fault. New Japan is only $8.99 or $9.99.
$9.99 yen.
WWE. Yep. Yeah, but I think it's like $8.99 US or something. All right, so the Gorillas of Destiny are coming out with Hangman Page, and let's see, there's old Chase, but who brought them out to the ringside was old Haku in a Bullet Club t-shirt. How cool is that? That's cool beans. Suck it, Roman.
The only one of that whole family that everybody hates is Roman Reigns. Poor Roman.
Well, everybody has a family member they don't want to talk about.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. It just happens to be theirs is on the face of all the shit from WWE. Sorry.
Thanks. Eddie. Welcome back.
Now, technically, Stan,
yes, sir.
Can they call this Slammiversary, and should they not call it the Grand Farewell or the Final Foreclosure? Or
that would be awesome. The Final Foreclosure. That's a valid point. News broke this week that Impact Wrestling and I'm not sure if you can really call it this, but Global Force Wrestling merged and will now be known as Global Force Wrestling going forward. Which, I mean, that and 50 Cent.
Are they going to be known as like? Are they going to be known as Global Force or Global Force going forward?
I think Global Force going forward would be a more marketable name.
Which one's not getting sued and the FCC is on them?
It's if you want to buy some gold bars, go to globalforce.com.
If you want to go down to your local Holiday Inn and have a seminar on how to make a wrestling promotion successful.
Talk to New Japan, Ring of Honor, or Vince McMahon.
Well, no, you go. You get people to come to the hotel, and you tell them, "Hey, you know what you need to do? You need to hold these things at hotels and tell people to come and give you $30." But anyway, I'll shut up now. Sorry.
Hey, I don't know that I disagree with you about Global Impact Force Wrestling something. F that Al. That's what I have to say about that. Although it would be kind of cool to see the Hardys show up and do the final deletion on Impact and Global. And shut them down.
It was me, Austin. It was me. Okay.
Son of a bitch.
Can you imagine the crowd?
What if the Hardys just showed up?
Yeah, they start playing the broken music.
I wouldn't put it past the folks at Global Force to repackage a tag team to try to keep the broken concept. I really wouldn't. I mean, they repackaged old WWE stars back in the day. I mean, why couldn't they repackage somebody to be like the new Diesel and new Razor Ramon?
Well, I mean, look at Impact. They got old D'Angelo Williams coming in there and doing like a Make-A-Wish or something.
Pretty much.
It was Global Forces. Tell us, Mr. Jarrett, what do you want to do for your wish?
I want an NFL superstar to wrestle in the ring.
And my wife to stop sleeping around with everybody.
Oh, ouch.
Well, how do you think she became your wife there, Jeff?
Allegedly.
No, I don't think that's allegedly. I think that's observable fact from this point forward. Here's a little bit of a news tidbit.
Keep the lawyers off my ass, okay? Allegedly.
Oh, maybe.
Sorry, I was doing air quotes.
Oh, remember, it's radio. They can't feel you.
Whoa.
So you think?
Former TNA superstar debuting on NXT. Guys, can you name the gentleman who debuted this week?
Hornswoggle.
Former Impact.
Hornswoggle.
I don't know if they hired a new janitor at the Performance Center.
So, Eddie and Rob both submitted their picks. I think I like Rob's the best. Brian, you got a pick?
No.
No.
This is a pretty cool one. Gunner,
Oh, yeah.
who last was seen in Impact in 2015, who was considering actually retiring.
Yep.
After that latest stint, debuted in NXT and took on No Way Jose. Now here's a screenshot from Twitter, and I'll send this out here. I gotta find this guy's tweet here.
Remember, it's radio. They can't see it.
Right, so there's a photo of No Way Jose in the ring and Gunner at the standing on the second rope. And in the caption here it says, "No Way Jose versus some guy." Folks, this is what we say all along about TNA, and this is the unfortunate part. When a TNA or Impact or Global Force superstar debuts in WWE, it's like a brand new homegrown talent because they have no idea what Impact is doing.
Well, because the rest of the world isn't watching.
I contend that same 300,000 that watches every week faithfully, they will know. They will know. So what's that, like the city of Atlanta?
It's the city of Boise, Idaho.
Boise. Alrighty. So, Brian, where are we with G1 Night 2?
All right, so you got a 8-man with the Bullet Club versus War Machine, Michael Elgin, and where'd the last guy go? Or maybe it's just a 6-man. My bad, just a 6-man. I'm sorry. Thought there were more.
Calm down, Eddie.
It's
So
like it's like the NWO. There's just so many of them. I just can't tell how many's in the ring.
Thank you.
So, is there going to be Elite versus the Bullet Club going forward? The Elite takes on the Bullet Club.
To me, Omega and the Young Bucks are so financially dependent on the Bullet Club. I just don't see how they could just walk away quite yet.
So, quick observation from night 1. Kenny Omega and Michael Elgin last night. Is Elgin, Eddie, or Elgin?
Elgin.
Elgin, thank you.
It's Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Those two guys, in my opinion, stole the show. That was a tremendous matchup. And the one-winged angel that Kenny Omega utilizes and that knee smash to the face that he hit like 5 times or 6 times. Dude, I don't know anybody out there today except for New Japan that can pull off that sort of stuff. I really don't. I can't think of one guy except for maybe AJ Styles and Shinsuke because they were there. Throw in the Club and Finn Balor, to be fair.
Sami Zayn.
Really? You think Sammy could go that pace?
Yep.
I don't know, man.
You really don't remember El Generico, do you?
I saw very, very little of El Generico.
Dude, huge
I
fan.
would not profess to be any kind of expert on that.
Lethal's could go that pace.
Yeah.
Were you surprised to see Lethal out and not in the finals?
No.
Yeah, no. I think this is Kenny's title. I think it's been Kenny's title since he was announced.
Well, I think it's Kenny's title because he didn't win the world title.
Well, again, I think if they're going to make a push into the U.S., they need somebody like Omega to be the forefront of it, and I think that's where the U.S. title comes into play.
So right now, folks, we've got tons of things going on at the same time. Slammiversary is on the air. G1 Night 2 is on the air. We've got more news to cover, tons of things to talk about. We're going to go ahead and take our first break of the evening. When we come back, we'll continue with our coverage of both Slammiversary, G1 Night 2, and all the news that's going on as it happens. Stick with us right here on the Corner to Corner radio show right here on BeyondRingside.com. What's up, everybody? It's Stan Grubb for Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio and the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Hey, join us every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as the triple threat of wrestling radio goes live every week, giving you their thoughts and opinions on the world of professional wrestling. Myself, Brian, and Rob, all live, all here for you. And as my good friend Rob would say, from corner to corner and pillar to post, we bring it to you every week at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. BeyondRingside.com and ProWrestlingRadio.net.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Monroe, Fast Eddie Lane, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Lane, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark Mabo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
You destroyed them.
2-1.
And we're back live right here on Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and ProWrestlingRadio.net, BeyondRingside.com. Welcome back. So we've got Slammiversary going on. We got the G1 Night 2 special for the United States title for New Japan. Brian, what's the most up-to-date result you've got there?
Bullet Club of Page and the Guerrillas of Destiny just beat War Machine and Michael Elgin when Adam Page literally decapitated one member of War Machine.
You can pick up his head in the third rope.
Oh, by the way,
Yes.
adding fuel to the fire from last night, the incompetence that is Jim Ross.
Wow.
Saying, Ray, don't call me Death Row, when Ray Rowe was known as Death Row, especially in Texas. So Jim Ross, once again, needs to do his homework.
I gotta say this, and I don't necessarily disagree, Ross came off like angry last night. I mean, there was just something to him, and Brian mentioned it before we came on the air, that maybe he just was having trouble, keeping pace. It really wasn't in his wheelhouse. But I really did I have to agree with Rob, I liked the commentary team of Barnett and Ross. They fed well off of each other. And granted, the commentary, as far as some of the things they said, yeah, I agree. I mean, there's no place for the rainbow comment, and there's definitely not a place for not having enough knowledge as to who these different people are. But, I think that with what we're seeing, on New Japan Wrestling, with what they're bringing to the table, it's important to have someone you can identify with, and that's why you have Jim Ross. I do miss Mauro Ranallo on New Japan, though.
Dude, I got to argue that one little point because nobody knew who the hell Joey Styles was before ECW. They took a chance on him, and look what happened. You don't always have to have the biggest or the longest-running name doing commentary for people to get a clue.
No, you don't have to have that, but it's helpful. It's a big, big deal, especially if it's your debut stateside for live TV. And I can understand why they went that direction. It's not necessarily the only guy they could have pulled in, but I mean, like right now, Joey Styles is still nuclear from his Donald Trump thing.
May I interrupt?
Yes, sir.
With some, oh man, you just gotta love this when you're on the cusp of news. So they have officially just announced that New Japan Wrestling will return to the U.S. in 2018. They haven't said how. But
Madison Square Garden
is coming back in 2018.
Madison Square Garden. That would be ridiculous.
Wouldn't that be a shot across the bow?
Oh, it would be.
Right between the eyes of Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
You know, like,
wow.
We're not only going toe-to-toe with you, Vinnie Mac. We're kicking you out of your playground.
Yeah, but how many people has he gotten right out from under New Japan?
I mean, he's gotten a lot. I mean, he took.
And
he took
you can't tell me that. You can't tell me that he didn't. Kenny Omega chose New Japan,
right?
Because you can't tell me that they weren't throwing money at him at WWE.
Money, creative control. I imagine he had.
Oh yeah.
Thrown to.
Oh,
can you imagine?
Because just.
Go ahead.
I mean, I was just going to say, just like AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, those guys are. He's coming with cred. Like it's not like WWE's building his cred.
Right.
So he chose to stay at New Japan because he saw what they're getting ready to do, and he wants to be the captain of the ship.
Yeah, and I can't blame him. I mean, I think it's still a question of when instead of if Kenny Omega goes to WWE. But he knows right now, when he goes to WWE, that's probably going to be the end of his run. So why not be at the forefront of history before you end up making the money grab, which is what a lot of people would call it. And I don't blame them. I mean, everybody wants to be successful. I think, and Eddie, I'm sure you'll have some insight to this, but I think most professional wrestlers, when they first start, their goal is to get to the pinnacle of the industry, and many, many people still consider it to be WWE. I'm not saying it's the only place, but many professional wrestlers, when they get into the industry, their end goal is, I want to go to WrestleMania. I mean, you even heard it from AJ Styles. You heard it from the Club. Even though Luke Gallows had, I believe he was on a WrestleMania, wasn't he?
I don't remember.
Yep. But the thing about that is there's a certain company line you have to toe.
True.
I'd be curious to see what they say after they leave.
Like, I'd be curious. I'd be curious to see what AJ Styles and the Club, like the ones you just talked about, what they say now. Now that they've left, and now that they're part of the machine, and you've seen AJ go to the top, and now he's in that spinning wheel of what are we going to do with him? What are we going to do with him? And look at the Club. The Club was brought in. They're like, bam, the Club, boom, and then they did nothing.
Nothing.
They like the most dominating tag team they've had come in years, and then they did nothing with them.
Well, speaking of
they did the same thing to them that they did to the Ascension. The only difference is they had the cred to stay on top.
Valid point.
Apparently last night, the Club and Sheamus and Cesaro had a really fantastic match. So that may be the next feud for them.
Now,
well, Stan, you showed the tweet by Matt Hardy that the voices are getting too hard to keep at bay or something like that.
I mean, there's so much going on in the world of wrestling right now. I mean, with the Hardys, the moment the broken gimmick becomes theirs again, and I don't think we're that far from it, business will change for tag team wrestling in WWE, at least for the short term. And the club can capitalize on that still. Much to Rob's point, their credibility before they got to WWE is really, in my opinion and his, the only thing that kept them at that spot after they really got jobbed out for but so long. But it was indicative of what Vince's thinking was at that time, which is, if I didn't create it, they're not stars.
Bingo.
Fast forward to when we see Shinsuke Nakamura go to NXT, Samoa Joe go to NXT, and AJ Styles go to the main roster. All of a sudden, Vince is like, these guys are legit, and if I don't push them, I'm screwed. And what do we see now? We see AJ Styles at the top of the card. We see Samoa Joe dominant on Monday Night Raw. And Shinsuke Nakamura is being treated like the box office that he is, and the special attraction that he is. As long as he doesn't go the same direction as
Lesnar,
like Baron Corbin and Bray Wyatt, and start losing in intermittent pace, he's doing it right for the time being. But is it enough is really the question.
Do me a favor. I got a quick question I want to throw in here before I step away for about 10 minutes.
Right.
Imagine last night's show with one less multi-man tag match, but with the full complement of a non-diluted Bullet Club, including Styles, Gallows, Anderson, Balor, Nakamura on the card. Imagine the recent acquisitions for WWE over the last 16, 17 months from that were featured in New Japan. And let's go and add Kenta back to the list. Can you imagine what the critical acclaim for that show would be right now if everybody that Vince rated from the New Japan roster was still at New Japan? I'll shut up.
I don't even think you need the full complement of the Bullet Club. You would just need AJ Styles and Nakamura going strong style, and that would be enough to just literally set the world on its ear.
Okay.
I mean, they had great matches.
Yeah, they did. But I also want to throw this one at you, and this is the part that you can't stand me for. The fact that as it stands right now, the Bullet Club is not the Bullet Club. The Bullet Club is NWO Light. Omega is awesome. The Bucks are good. Paige, Chase Owens, really good. The GOD, hell yeah. But on the whole, and I don't really consider Cody now to be that much of the face of the Bullet Club. I believe the ultimate free agent in the world of pro wrestling has not really assimilated himself as a full-blood Bullet Club member. He comes across like a part-timer or like he's trying to be the boss. Adam Cole, to me, was not the face of the Bullet Club. Sorry. He was too heavy-handed. The Bullet Club was... Oh, Jim Ross, can I go ahead and use the line that you said so idiotically eloquent last night twice? The Bullet Club is the NWO DX hybrid. You need somebody who is genuinely a wise ass, who can be in that position to where you're thumbing your nose at everybody, like the Bucks do so well. Bucks have great personality, but they're not lead guy material.
Well, yeah, but when you talk the Bucks, right?
Right.
As far as like being, you also throw in Kenny for the elite subgroup, and because when the three of them get together, there's all types of Weisenheimer stuff that goes on. So they get pretty good.
All right.
Well, I think
I'll be
one of the
back.
things that the Bullet Club has going for them is the fact that they're different from the NWO and the fact that they have infiltrated multiple wrestling organizations at the same time. As in NWO and DX and all them were they were the product of the environment they were in. The Bullet Club is all over. I mean, indie shows, MCW, Ring of Honor, New Japan. The only place the Bullet Club's not is WWE.
I would still classify the club, to me, as just a subgroup of the Bullet Club.
Well, I like that when Finn Balor and the club come out and AJ Styles, they too sweet everybody. That's like a thumb in the nose to Vince McMahon, like, we still exist.
Right.
So.
I think a lot of the time for Vince, it's still a question of how does he create stars out of people that he didn't create, and I think he still struggles with that, even though my initial point was that he saw the light with AJ Styles, Nakamura, and with Samoa Joe. He still gets hesitant, and maybe that's why they didn't completely bought in with the Bullet Club concept. But at the same time,
No.
I mean, the Bullet Club is owned not just by those that are in the company, but also Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. So, I mean, I think that they don't want to cross that bridge if they don't have to.
Well, I think the reason the WWE hasn't bought into the Bullet Club is they can't own the Bullet Club.
Right, exactly.
They can own everything else. They can own the Balor Club.
Mm-hmm.
They can own the club, but they can't own the Bullet Club. And those guys from the Bullet Club, I mean, AJ Styles could go out with Bullet Club written on his jacket, and there's not a damn thing Vince can, Vince can say, hey, you can't wear the jacket. But Brian made the point, like, look in the crowd. How many Bullet Club shirts did you see in the last pay-per-view?
You mean for WWE? There was tons of them.
Yeah. And look at the amount of non-WWE shirts you saw last night.
One.
Right.
Oh, I saw one WWE shirt and one that was somewhere else. I forget what it was. But the majority of them were either New Japan or Bullet Club.
So
personally, I just don't think Vince knows what to do with something he did not create.
Right.
And it's not that he's scared or whatever. It's just in his mind, he cannot fathom that there is another cosmos out there of bigger and better talent that he didn't create. You know what I'm saying?
Look what he did. Look what he did to NWO. Look what he did with he literally owns right now, by trademark or whatever, I guess, the greatest faction in professional wrestling history, the Four Horsemen, and has done nothing with it. I mean, this day and time, you get Ric Flair as the manager, get Ric Flair in the J.J. Dillon role, and you put yourself a Four Horsemen together, or the Four Horsewomen together. But, anyway.
So what do we have going on right now when it comes to night 2? Where are we on that card?
Intermission.
Intermission.
I love it.
You know what that reminded me of last night? That reminded me of when you used to order the WWE pay-per-views back in the day. And they're like WrestleMania and SummerSlam, and they'd be like, we're going to take a 30-minute intermission. We'll be right back.
And it would just be the logo and music.
Yeah. Like, seriously? Now they just put a boring vignette in it.
Well, I mean, it's
or
either that
or they show you,
the old Divas
let's
matches.
rehash the last 6 months of wrestling. Again. Even though we did it on the pre-show and the pre-show and the show before the pre-show. And Raw, because that's
now
all it is leading up to
24-hour
pay-per-view.
pay-per-view.
Yeah. Well, all Raw is, and SmackDown is the lead up, is the pre-show to the pay-per-view.
Wow.
Ryback shouldn't have gotten a big head, man. He could have look at all the shows he could stop.
The pre-show stopper.
But
Ryback.
I've been looking while I've been up here. I'm in NCW territory. I was down in La Plata today,
Okay.
and I was looking. I was like, come on, got to have something. MCW somewhere. I was wearing my Bullet Club, my club T-shirt, and I'm like, all right, come on, let me. Somebody give me some love. Nothing.
Well, I mean, right now it's a good sign that when we see the Hot Topic and they're not able to keep Bullet Club shirts in stock. I mean, that's tremendous, and that speaks volumes for how big an outside entity has gotten without the help of the machine. You know,
Right.
and that's a good thing.
But if you're smart and you go into Hot Topic and you buy your Bullet Club shirt, you could buy a WWE T-shirt for $5.
Oh, that's right. They do the buy
One at regular price. Yeah, I was looking, dude. The only one I saw was a medium Bullet Club shirt. And apparently, like, as I was asking the lady for a Bullet Club shirt, a guy came from the other side of Hot Topic and was like, "Are you asking about Bullet Club?" I'm like, "Yes." He said, "Do you have any?" "No." Damn it. And I'm looking at him going, "Dude, if I can't fit in the medium, you surely couldn't fit in the medium."
Oh. Folks, the opinions of Rob on Corner to Corner.
What? Just because you
Fat-shaming
can
people.
doesn't mean you should.
Rob out there fat shaming people. Look, man. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm gonna
as
level
a
with
fat-
you. You're a big guy.
as a-
You can't be wearing that.
As a fat man myself, I would not wear a medium. Hell, I wouldn't even wear a large. Because that's like poor man's Under Armour.
Double extra medium.
Yeah. It's like those old cartoons, like you bend over and all of a sudden the shirt flies up and hits you in the face. Pow!
So, while Lords of Pain has let me down with updated results for Slammiversary, Twitter has done well to keep us up to date. So, we'll do the rundown. Scott Steiner and Josh Matthews lost to Jeremy Borash and Abyss. Apparently,
I thought
Jeremy
Steiner left.
so did I, but I guess he still lived up to his payday. With Jeremy Borash taking the Black Hole Slam into the thumbtacks. Or not Jeremy Borash, Josh Matthews. Ouch.
He's hardcore. He's hardcore.
Squeal! Squeal! Oh, wait, that's not it. Shark Boy apparently showed up at Slammiversary and got the tar kicked out of him by Scott Steiner in the middle of that matchup. Don't ask me why. I don't know.
Can he really be called Shark Boy at this point in his career?
I mean, is it okay to call him Shark Elderly?
You know, like, the old man formerly known as Shark Boy.
What do they
Shark El
call it?
Patron.
What do they call old sharks?
Shark El Patron. I don't know.
Sushi?
Oh, sushi. That's good. Sushi. I'm still trying to track down the results of James Storm and EC3. Sadly, the TNA feed or Impact feed or Global feed, whatever the hell it's called, on Twitter isn't very updated either. What a shocker.
Dixie Carter must own Charter.
And Twitter? Whoops. All right. So G1 still in their intermission. We got the finals. No, they're back?
They're back.
Woohoo! We got stuff to talk about. No, we got plenty to talk about. Let me tell you this.
So now it's the tag team, the light heavyweight tag team titles. The Young Bucks versus Roppongi Vice.
Oh, very nice. That ought to be a solid matchup.
They faced each other 93 times. It should be an excellent matchup.
Well, I'm for one looking forward to watching all of the replay of this. I know Brian is keeping himself apprised as it happens live on the air.
Yes.
We've also got confirmation this week of new competitors for the Mae Young Classic. We'll be covering that here in just a moment. But guess what? It's time for our second break of the evening. We're going to go ahead and take a pause for the cause. When we come back, we got more to cover with G1 Night 2, Mae Young Classic news, talking a little bit more about WWE and all points in between. Stick with us right here on Corner to Corner Radio, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com, and prowrestlingradio.net.
Good one.
What's going on? Welcome back to hour number 2 of Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio, right here on BeyondRingside.com, ProWrestlingRadio.net. We are live. Joining us right now, we've got the G1 Night 2 going on. We've got Slammiversary 15 is going on tonight. Got some news we were talking about just before we went to break. We'll check in with Brian on the official G1 Night 2 report.
So it's still the Young Bucks and Roppongi Vice. Apparently it's breaking down. All 4 men are in the ring, and the ref is just standing back, not doing nothing. Can't tell if that's Red Shoes. Nope, it's not Red Shoes. So it's kind of cool. It's been okay, pretty good so far. These 4 normally have pretty good matches, though. Oh, and there we go with the super kick. I should have yelled for y'all, but
Super kick!
Super kick!
It's a super kick party on G1 Night 2!
Oh. Apparently there's going to be an extra special Meltzer driver supposedly tonight as well.
that will be the big news that Cody was talking about.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
So
I guess they promised Meltzer's dad there'd be an extra special one or something.
So when we left, when we went to break, we were talking about the most recent confirmation for the Mae Young Classic. Now, if I mispronounce these names, I don't apologize because, dude, I'm doing this on the fly. 28-year-old Kairi Hojo, now known as Kairi Sane, nicknamed the Pirate Princess, is going to make her WWE debut in the Mae Young Classic. Joining her is Dakota Kai, Piper Niven, Bianca Blair, Abby Lath, Tessa Blanchard, Jazzy Gabbert, Tanera Conti, Kavita Devi, Tony Storm, Lacey Evans, Sarah Logan, Princessa Sugit, and Vanessa Bourne. Those are the folks that are in the 32-woman tournament, the Mae Young Classic, which will air July 13th and July 14th, live from Full Sail University. God, I can't talk at all today. Shoot me. Damn it. Jim Ross and Lita will be calling the action for that tournament. I wonder which Jim Ross will get at the tournament. Will it be the Calm, Cool, and Collected Jim Ross, or will it be the New Japan version of Jim Ross?
I imagine Calm, Cool, Collected because you got somebody in your ear helping you along. Was that all 32, by the way?
No, there's right now it's got a total of 13. Now the tournament itself, which is going to air July 13th or take place July 13th and 14th. I want to correct myself here. It's being recorded the 13th and 14th of July, but it will air August 28th. Wow, that's a long time. But I would imagine, much like the Cruiserweight Classic, we'll probably won't see very many spoilers hit it until it's maybe a couple days out.
We hope.
Well, we won't be spoiling the tournament for anybody. We may, if there's a breaking entrant or something like that, a surprise, we might talk a little bit about what happens with that, but we definitely won't get into the tournament spoilers because we want to make sure we cover it the right way, play it as close to best as possible. Hey, here's a quick tidbit of news, video game-wise. WWE 2K18 announced yesterday Kurt Angle will be the official pre-order exclusive for 2K18. That'll be a pretty good one. Of course, last week we found out that Seth Rollins is on the cover of 2K18 with the promo or commercial video that was really cool, where he's throwing away and trashing the warehouse of all the old memorabilia of Triple H's sledgehammer, Ric Flair's robe, the Macho Man's robe, somebody's boots, the old Winged Eagle title. There was like silhouettes or mannequins that had the different gear from Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, all these different guys. And Seth Rollins is the guy burning it to the ground. And the catchphrase or the whatever, the slogan, there we go, is "Be like no one." Kind of interesting.
Well, I'd be curious to know what the deluxe version will have. As far as what kind of goodies.
Well, with 2K17, it was the NXT edition, and we got the Finn Balor exclusive statuette. We got the signed Shinsuke Nakamura. We got, what else was it? It was a couple other things, wasn't it? It was a booklet, and, it was the Austin Aries card.
Mm-hmm. That turned out to be not quite so exclusive.
Yeah, that was a little bit more mass-produced than they initially let on.
Because I'm pretty sure when I busted open the first pack, there was Austin Aries staring me right in the face.
Hello, what's this? It's Austin Aries. I've seen this before.
Could at least change the border or something, you know. But.
For duty. Just kind of reflecting back on last night's night one for the U.S. tournament. I talked a little bit about Kenny Omega and Michael Elgin, but I thought that Cody Rhodes really solidified himself as a main event player against Okada. That matchup was tremendous. I actually liked what he was doing as a heel throughout that matchup, spitting on the ref, giving the fans the finger. I agree there was a little bit of an overbooking with the Bullet Club on the outside, but I do look forward to seeing Kenny Omega versus... Gosh, got the hiccups all of a sudden. Kenny Omega versus Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I hope it doesn't start tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I hope Omega is able to get the win, and then they can do whatever for the U.S. title. I'd like to see him win the title.
I can see a swerve coming about where they help him win, they help Omega win, and then Cody turns on him, wants the shot, wants the belt.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be a cool feud. I'm okay with that. So
yeah, it could be interesting.
Slammiversary update here. Sienna, Rosemary, they're talking about them on Twitter right now as far as being great additions to the knockout division. So, quick question while we've still got the junior heavyweight titles on the line over on G1 Night 2. Is this truly possible? Can Global Force Wrestling step in, take over, and move up with this recent merger and now takeover?
I think if they continue to shake up the roster, they might be in business. But it seems like for every one they bring in, they're steadily losing ground. You figure Cody's now done with them. Brandy's probably done with them. Bennett's just left. So to me, it just seemed like, oh, that had to hurt. For every, every step forward they're taking 2 steps back. And I'm just not sure they can pull it off. I think they can be better, but I don't think they're gonna, solidify themselves in anything more than what they're doing now, as far as the ratings.
So with Slammiversary still going on, the matchup between EC3 and James Storm apparently was ended with EC3 hitting the double underhook driver, pinning James Storm, but also stretchering out James Storm. The medical staff, Bob Ryder, comes out to the ring to escort Storm up the ramp while EC3 kind of soaks in the booze. Borash and Abyss versus Steiner and Josh Matthews. We talked about that. Full Metal Mayhem. Davey Richards and Angelina Love versus Eddie and Alicia Edwards. The winners of that contest was Eddie and Alicia Edwards after a sunset flip powerbomb off the top of the ladder through the table to score the victory. That sounds brutal. 2 out of 3 falls matchup. Sanjay Dutt defending the X Division title against Low-Key. The winner of that contest 2 falls to 1, Sanjay Dutt. And that matchup looks like that was tremendous, with Low-Key taking the first fall with the double stomp from the top rope. Sanjay Dutt taking the second fall after reversing a pinfall attempt, so most likely a roll-up or small package. Third fall, of course, was Low-Key having Sanjay Dutt trapped in this tree of woe, but Dutt fighting him off and then hitting a twisting splash from the top rope to retain the X Division Championship. Tonight we've got Bobby Lashley and Alberto Del Patron in a title-for-title matchup. Impact and Global Force Championships on the line. I would think that this would be the time that Lashley finally loses the Impact title and Alberto Del Patron takes the reins as the top guy in Global Force.
Oh, sorry. Lashley's been about their only real mainstay, I guess, as far as champion for a while. I don't know if they'll give it to Alberto for any length of time, even if he does win. But if they pair him with LAX, that could be a mean little faction.
I think that'd be entertaining to watch. Plus, with LAX and their current incarnation, they've got a real good following, but it's solid new talent. Del Rio or Del Patron would be a good addition to that.
Yeah, but to me, you just got to. I mean, that would literally. Is LAX still tag champs?
They are.
God, so the only title left to get would be, I guess, King of the Mountain, and then the female title.
Yeah, I mean, King of the Mountain isn't King of the Mountain now the Grand Championship?
Oh yeah, there you go, the Grand Champion. Well, I thought Cody was King of the Mountain. No, what one did he have?
Cody was the next gen champion.
Oh, okay. There you go. I guess that title's still out there too, unless Cody's gonna just retire it.
Well, I mean, the club, they were the last tag team champions for Global Force, so I guess that could go the way of the dodo, and we may not ever see that get reinvigorated or reintroduced.
Well, no. Weren't they combining their tag team champions, or who was it? What? Hold on a second. I thought they were combining that one. I thought they just combined it not too long ago.
They may well have.
Yeah.
So it may just be the one set of titles at this point.
Yeah, I think they I want to say they combined the tag team titles.
Of course, we've got Sienna and Rosemary defending their individual women's titles from Global Force and Impact tonight as well.
Yeah. God. So what'd you say about them being great additions to the female division or something? Did you say that earlier?
Yeah, the conversation right now as far as Sienna and Rosemary being great representatives for the Knockouts division. They are both fighting their title-for-title matchups tonight, where Gail Kim will award the winner the undisputed Knockouts champion of Global Force. I wonder if they'll keep calling them Global, or not Global, but Knockouts, or if they'll call them, if they'll just call them women's champion.
I would hope we go to women's. Come on, people. Let's stop being so sexist all the time.
Oh, it's dead sexy. Oh, wait, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, no, that's not what I meant.
So where are we with Roppongi Vice and the Young Bucks? We had a finish yet? What the hell's going on?
No, they're still going at it.
Still going?
Yeah,
Nothing outlasts the Energizer.
Still going. Well, if this is like last night, it'll be 12 o'clock before this thing is over.
Oh, my God.
Oh, a pile driver on the side, the ring rope, the ring apron. Oh, wow.
How about the German suplex that Kenny Omega took last night on the apron from Mike Elgin? That was pretty redonkulous. I don't know how people take those spots and not just get permanently injured.
Damn. Uh-oh. We're gonna. It may be going to an. Oh, I know I can't. It's too exciting.
Tell the story. You gotta keep us on
wrapped up in it.
Get us involved. Tell the people.
All right. So, wow. So, was that Nick? I think. Got spiked on the ring apron in a pile driver. Thrown into the ring, took a knee to the face, which then got him going 360. Then took another pile driver and just managed to kick out at what absolutely has to be the last second. So that was kind of cool little setup. Oh, speaking of that, so I wanted to discuss that. So last night, I mean, they made chain wrestling look so good. As far as like consecutive moves, you know what I'm saying? To me, there was no wasted downtime in any of the matches. I don't think. You think if the WWE developed more of that style, we wouldn't be on them so bad?
I think WWE's biggest challenge is. I think the biggest challenge for WWE is how they combat being sports entertainment and involve in their battle for the past 3 or 4 years now, taking on a hold as the wrestling brand WWE. With the brand split, we saw overall become once again focused more on storyline and down became the wrestling show for the main roster. I don't know. I'd love to see a better chain wrestling present.
You're breaking up,
man, to really go that direction.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up big time.
Good to know Skype is treating me nicely. All right, let me see what I can do on that.
Go sit by the Wi-Fi.
Helps. Talk amongst.
No.
So, Eddie, you're watching Impact, right? Or Slammiversary?
I was trying to. Charter and I are having a fallout. I think Dixie Carter owns Charter, and I can't get it.
Oh, how bad would that be?
Horrible.
No, I hear you talking about me.
Say what?
Ooh. I said Dixie would be like, no, I heard Eddie Fast Eddie Lane's talking about me.
Gee, what a surprise.
No Impact.
No Impact, yeah. I didn't even mention her name until after the damn cable box went out. And Charter was absolutely no help in the circumstance. So it's like, it's one of those circumstances. I really wanted to see this show tonight because I had high hopes for a new beginning. It's like you close one chapter, open up a new one, the complete rebranding of Impact to Global Force Wrestling. And guess what? Now Jeff Jarrett is in charge of a wrestling promotion, not just a marketing agency. And yeah, really, I mean, that's what GFW was to me. They had a couple of live events, but 2 shows does not a company make.
Right.
And from there, it's like, look, I got a world of respect for Jeff Jarrett for the most part. I don't like the way that under his regime, certain talent was underpaid and undervalued and overused or improperly used. I've been very verbose about the factor of how I felt about the way Taylor Wilde was done when she was Knockouts champion and not even making enough money to where she could leave her job as a manager at Sunglass Hut. So, it's like this beast has multiple facets to it, multiple faces to it over the years, and so lo and behold, Jarrett took it as far as he could at one point. Then Dixie Carter played the power card. Then she screwed the pooch royally and brought in Hogan and Bischoff, who brought in all their buddies from the Australia tour and the African tour, and just ran the company in the ground, tried to take it to Monday nights way too soon. And that's why it's like, look, I'm optimistic because I've been watching the product for the last couple of weeks. I've liked the build. I like the way they've handled things at the Mumbai tapings. I think it was I know the ratings were not that good, or the ratings were down for this past Thursday, the final show from Mumbai, the go-home episode for Slammiversary. I've been saying all along, the worst thing they could do was overhype and push the JB and Josh Matthews bit.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares. I don't. I'm an announcer. I'm a commentator. I don't care. I mean, you would think that I would be ecstatic about having announcers propelled into a storyline. I'm not. I hated the Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler storyline. I don't think that did any favors for the company or for the talent. But it gave Michael Cole a WrestleMania moment, and unfortunately, Jerry had to do the honors for him. And tonight, I was reading the results a minute ago that Borash and Abyss went over. Gee, what a surprise. Feel-good moment for Jeremy Borash. Josh Matthews has been the heel throughout the whole circumstance. And it's just, look, Matthews is good as a commentator. Borash is passable as a commentator. But when they started going back and forth on this, it's like you are disrespecting the product. You're disrespecting the talent that is supposed to be the star of the show. The announce team is not the star of the show. I don't care what company it is. I don't care if it's Impact, Global Force, WWE, Raw, SmackDown, New Japan, Lucha Underground, Ring of Honor, GCW, Peach State, AIW, MCW. It doesn't matter. The announce team is not the star of the show. The in-ring talent is the star of the show. And then for them to, once again, I know I've gone on about this on numerous occasions. I'm just glad the storyline's hopefully done. It does not need a 2.0. So
right.
And Ricochet is on new.
You got to preface that by saying that the Young Bucks have just beat Roppongi Vice. Now you can finish Ricochet there.
My bad. So the Bucks defend the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles against Roppongi Vice, where Ricochet does the run-in. You're going to have to work on that there, guys. They had a little bit of that going on last night, too. A little bit of audio issues. Oh, and he wooed. Congratulations, Ricochet. You can woo. Very good.
Oh, woo-woo.
Woo-woo-woo. Oh, wait, that's a different guy. Different room. Sorry. Interesting. So,
what?
With... What? Who? Huh? What?
Neither of us...
Ricochet just used the Rock's line, and he's also wearing a Rock hat.
Oh, that's a mark.
Oh, he's got the Brahma Bull is in the house. Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's Ricochet.
That's a Mark move.
Yeah, that kind of is a bit of a Mark move. You wear somebody else's merch on? I mean, that's
if you're going to be on television or an app or even on Facebook Live, if you're wearing anybody's merch, it had better be your own. Do you realize, Stan, if you were to show up on Corner to Corner Facebook Live wearing a PWO shirt, you realize I would shoot you?
PWO?
Or a WO.
Oh, I would never do that.
Yeah, but if you were, I would shoot you.
Please don't.
I mean, for Ricochet to wear a Dwayne Johnson Brahma Bull hat, that's just marked out stupid.
Maybe he just thinks that he's, special, unique. I don't know.
Maybe he's cooking. We don't know.
All right, so apparently the Young Bucks have just accepted a challenge with Ricochet and Taguchi.
Uh-huh.
I guess at a later date. I still would like to have seen Ricochet and Ospreay. They should have put that on there.
Yeah, that definitely would have made history. You would have had a huge audience for that.
Yeah, but that's been done before, hadn't it?
Yeah, a couple times. But
yeah,
to me, like, there's always something new. I mean, some of the spots are the same, but some of the stuff they put in the mix is like amazing.
And you got to remember, you don't want to shoot your wad throughout the entire first weekend of the United States shows. You want to have something for people to come back to.
Oh, I'd have crushed Vince. That's what me personally, I'd be like, put him on there. Vince is done.
Do you run a company with a net worth over billions of dollars?
That's only because he's got them little 7-year-old kids funneling money into it.
Oh, okay.
It disgusts me.
Ning, ning.
And for those of you at a corner, now that we can cover successfully 2 different pay-per-view events, as well as talking about the world of Ring of Honor and other events happening and not just WWE. So, damn it, I don't want to hear any more complaints. We cover it all, damn it. All of it. All of it.
I guess this would be a first for us, huh? 2 in one night?
From 2 different locations. I will say that this is a little impressive. I am a mark for us, sir. Well, I'm our own biggest mark. Does that count?
2 different states, 3 different locations.
Wow. All this, all for you, our beautiful listening audience. With the exception of, some of y'all down in Georgia that shall remain nameless.
You realize I've called every match. If you go back and listen to Beyond Ringside Live, I was right on every prediction so far.
For Slammiversary?
Yep.
I mean, it's not really hard to predict those correctly. Unfortunately, their booking is straight out of the Jeff Jarrett playbook. And even that was when Dixie was at the helm. Let's have 5 different run-ins, and by the way, we'll make sure that the person that shouldn't win wins. That's what we'll do.
No, actually, okay.
Hey, I'm going to take the mic off first, or the headset off for just a second. Hold on.
I'll tell you what, in that case, let's go ahead and Stan, go ahead and take it to break. Stan?
I think that's a mic drop. Yes, sir.
Go ahead and take us to bottom of the hour.
You got it. Folks, stick with us right here on BeyondRingside.com, ProWrestlingRadio.net. Corner to Corner is taking its last break of the evening. When we come back, we'll finish off our coverage of Slammiversary and G1 Night 2 right here, all for you. Stick with us. Welcome back to the closing moments here of the G1 Night 2 coverage and Slammiversary coverage right here. Corner to Corner is live, joining you from a multiple location station. Eddie Lane.
Hi.
That was a Rob moment right there.
No, it's
What's going on?
And I am Stan Grubb. We're enjoying a night of wrestling action, a weekend of wrestling action that is not, can you believe this, WWE. It's amazing. There's actually other wrestling going on, and it's really damn good.
Yeah, it is.
God, I've
okay.
only been on y'all for about 2 years. Finally.
Well, the Briscoe's he's gonna do a cream kick, and he sucks. Wow, he did a back. What the hell? What the hell? And Marty Scurll mimics him. That's awesome.
I've got to sit back and say, I think
of course, folks,
Mark Briscoe is one of the most underrated talents out there.
Yeah, I think ROH
here's the
has
thing,
a lot of those.
I think with the Briscoes specifically, to me, the problem that I have with type tag team, I think they fit very well in Ring of Honor, and they seem like they're okay fit in New Japan, but honestly, I think they do better in Ring of Honor than anywhere else they would go. Like, I couldn't see them doing what they do on, I guess, what will be called Global Force from now on.
I can.
Or WWE, or NXT.
Nope.
Oh, I could see him in NXT. I don't know how well they'd fare in the main roster.
I mean, I think with the way that they act, I think they would be treated like a comedy, and that's not what they're about. I mean, they are entertaining and they are funny at points, but that's not really what they're about. I mean, in my opinion, they're like roughneck wrestlers. They're brutes. They can work really well.
Hey, Mark James.
But no, they're not the brutes. we won't do that. But yes, hello. No, when you talk about the Briscoes, to me, I don't know that the Briscoes really have that unique thing that can make them stand out anywhere else but Ring of Honor. And maybe I'm just selling them short.
That's the
I think you're
WWE.
selling them short.
That's the WWE snobbing you, Stan.
Yeah.
Ouch! And that hurt. That hurt my heart. That's a kick to the nuts from Eddie Lane through the airwaves. Okay.
I would have to agree. I think they could go, again, other than the main roster, I think they'd be hampered on the main roster.
Yep.
But NXT, I think they'd be okay.
Can you imagine the crowd at Full Sail if you heard, "Reach for the sky, boys"? Come over the PA system? That place would come unfreaking glued.
Yeah. I mean, to me, NXT is a much smarter brand all around, which would I think benefit them in NXT. So.
And the Bullet Club is teasing different tags from different entrants. You had the Jack. You had you got Cody tagging in and out. Fale, Marty Scurll. I mean, these guys are just tagging back and forth. Meanwhile, the team of the Briscoes, Okada and Will Ospreay, they just seem like they're waiting for somebody. Okada just trying to get at Cody Rhodes. That's not happening. Ref backing him up. Oh, Cody's in the crowd.
So again, did we touch on all your little talking points there? Did we cover all the bases? Did we miss anything?
The one thing I was going to point out, this is something we talked about a little bit last week. We'll talk about it a little bit as we are towards Money in the Bank for the ladies' Money in the Bank match. Carmella comes away as the Miss Money in the Bank again. Ellsworth again interferes, only this time doesn't truly pull the briefcase down. Brian, we talked about it briefly on in our production chat. I mean, it really didn't seem like there was a point to have this matchup now because of the way that they played it up booing her. They could have just stuck with that result instead of doing the whole let's do a rematch, and she still wins. I mean,
yeah, to me, it's a waste of airtime. If you're going to give us the exact same result, even though now you're going to, I guess, try and fix your faux pas from, screwing it up the first time only to give us the same, why waste my time? Eventually that type of booking is going to catch them. It's the same thing with Naomi and Lana. So you're going to give me the same result, although this time Naomi's just going to destroy Lana in about a minute and a half. Yeah, I could watch
that was different. The other part. Yeah, I mean, that was the other part, a rematch that, yet again, that we really didn't need to see. They didn't get it right at the pay-per-view. They still didn't get it right with the rematch. Now we've got yet another matchup between Lana and Naomi. If, at this point, Lana wins the title, doesn't matter. Doesn't mean anything.
No, why would you do it a third time?
Especially after the second time, just basically squashing her, and it was, if I heard it right, under a minute.
Yeah, again, I think it was about a minute and a half. I think the only thing, Lana did get a new costume, but there wasn't no point in it in the match. They could have easily, and I think again that match was before Money in the Bank. Are you kidding me? So no matter who was to win Money in the Bank, there is absolutely no chance in them cashing it in on that night. That's just piss poor booking. Again, it's like the Raw bookers came over to SmackDown and said, "Wow, we can do this."
Raw, on the other hand, with the go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Raw, on the other hand, continues a solid build-up for Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe. Braun Strowman even has a solid build-up going on. The Tag Team Championship rematch between the Hardys and Sheamus and Cesaro, that build-up has been really well done. The one thing I wanted to make sure we talked about from Monday Night Raw, though, is the women's gauntlet match. How about Nia Jax's performance in 30-plus minutes in that? Made more sense to you to have Nia Jax beat Sasha Banks at that point?
To me, the only problem with Nia is if you do something like that based on the other women in that particular brand's division, they all seem. I mean, that's like another Andre the Giant in the women's division. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a little too early to make her win something like that, because once you pull the trigger, I don't think you can go back. I think you're going to be stuck with her just being an unstoppable force.
Oh, super kick the knee on Will Ospreay. Damn. That was awesome. Martyr Skrull teases the super kick to the face. Ospreay blocks it, gets the hands up. Skrull throws his foot down, and then super kicks him right in the leg, taking the leg right from under Ospreay, just dropping him face first in the mat. That was done. Getting back into the gauntlet match itself, the way that Nia with each individual opponent.
Stan.
We lost him.
Ah, fantastic.
There you go.
And there we have it. What about you, Eddie? What do you think about all the rematches?
I knew that it was going to be a cluster the minute they started to announce the factor that we're going to redo the women's Money in the Bank match. It's like, really? You're going to go through this on the live television product when you just came out of screwing it up on the pay-per-view? And so I had no expectations for it whatsoever. And honestly, I'll tell you the truth, I didn't watch it. I knew they were going to do something. I figured they'd go ahead and keep the case with Carmella. And I'm glad to see that I was right on that. I hate being wrong. It sucks. I didn't know how they were going to do it. I figured Ellsworth would find a way to get involved in it somehow or another because they're figuring, hey, this works. We can run with it for a while because they hate Ellsworth.
Become the undisputed women's champion.
You're back.
The tag team championship.
Stan?
Moose, the grand champion, D'Angelo Williams, win their tag team matchup.
Stan?
So, and of course, Sanjay Dutt defends successfully against Loki.
Hello?
The question now for Global Force is, will Alberto Del Rio take the crown from Bobby Lashley? And the question was also, can Global transition into a competitive role?
Wait a minute, is he taped?
Competitive role within the rest.
Stan?
Well,
Ron, I think he might have been taped. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I agree. I have no problem with Carmella winning it. I don't see why you didn't just let it stand from the pay-per-view.
Yeah, but by the same token, I'm sorry, Carmella's boring. I mean...
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's not... I guess, to me, her winning doesn't really, it doesn't bother me in the sense that I could care less, but I don't... why hold two of the same matches back to back?
Oh, wait. Is he trying to get me or you?
He just dinged me on my cell phone. He says he can hear us. I don't know if he can speak, but he can hear us.
Try talking, Stan.
Try talking, Stan.
There he is. Okay.
There we go.
Unlike a couple of minutes ago when you pulled the drive-by and it's like, wait a minute, is he pre-recorded because he's not taking a breath?
Well, I get a message that says, "Are you talking?" I was like, I think so. And it's gone again. Damn it. Damn it!
And then, of course, don't forget you've got Cena coming back this Tuesday, and I really could have gone all year without saying that, but I figured I would go in the show on a really suck-ass note.
Well, what happened to him being a free agent?
Nobody cares. It's John Cena. They're going to find a way to get the belt off of Jinder and put it on him by SummerSlam. He'll break Flair's record and go riding off into the sunset and buy Nikki another button boob job.
Bam.
Butt job? You can get a butt job?
Dude.
You can get an anything job nowadays.
Pretty much. You can even get a stand job, too.
Or hair plugs for hair clubs.
Hey. Ouch.
Yeah, because 3/4 of DX have it now. For the thousands,
2 words for you.
For the thousands in attendance, for the millions watching at home, and for me because I'm the only one with all my own natural hair. Remember that night?
That was good TV right there.
Yeah.
And then by the same token, of course, you can get because look, give her another 5 years, Hunter is going to have Steph getting a butt job. God knows he already got her with the circus boobs.
If I was a boxer, I'd bounce those things like Sugar Ray Leonard.
Jim Carrey, liar in the outtakes. Go ahead, quote one of my favorite movies. Come on. Overactor. They're on to me.
And that's the game. That movie's great. You can't say enough about that movie.
Yeah, I mean,
I need one of those umbrellas.
What umbrella? Oh, the Bullet Club umbrella?
The Bullet Club umbrella.
Yeah, I actually want that.
Apparently it keeps selling out.
Was it a Bullet Club umbrella or a Villain Club umbrella?
Bullet Club.
Okay. See, I actually want the Villain Club umbrella. Skrull is just too cool. I like Marty Skrull. And no, Marvel comic book fans is not Skrull, it's Skrull.
I just love the little finger move he does.
Yeah. See,
it just sounds so disgusting.
Although
when it happens.
I was really disappointed in Los Ingobernables because Evil did not come out with the finger lasers.
Oh, yeah, like he has in the past.
Yeah, like he does on Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that glove is just cool as hell. I want one. Well, gentlemen.
All right, so real quick, it looks like the Bullet Club has beaten Okada and Ospreay and the Briscoes.
Will Ospreay Jr.?
I believe that would be Chaos.
Yep. Actually, I didn't know Ospreay was a member of Chaos. I knew Okada's the leader of Chaos with Gato, but I didn't think that the Briscoes were part of Chaos either.
Well, so just like in New Japan Wrestling, where everybody pretty much falls under like 4 different factions,
right?
Maybe 5 factions.
Bullet Club,
whenever
Chaos, Suzuki
ROH
Gun
comes over, or there's like a cross pay-per-view or something with them,
right?
They all fall under the same faction as well, and vice versa. If somebody comes to Ring of Honor, they'll pair them up in the factions that they're in. They're not. I don't know if you'd call them official. That's just the faction they go to.
Right. Now I'm trying to remember because you've got Chaos, Bullet Club, Suzuki Gun, and who else?
LIJ.
That's it. Okay. Los Ingobernables, Japón. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I think there's another one though.
I think there is too. Now, Roppongi Vice, they were not Chaos, were they?
I think they were.
I thought they were Suzuki Gun.
No, I think they're Chaos. Suzuki Gun had left, and then they just recently came back.
Right, because Suzuki was on the show last night. Yeah, because Suzuki was there last night. And by the way, for the record, once again, ladies and gentlemen, the incompetence of Jim Ross. It depends on where you're from as to exactly how dumb you really are. I'm from Alabama, and I know that it's pronounced Suzuki Gun, not Suzuki Goon.
Suzuki Goon?
Jim Ross said Suzuki Goon 3 times last night.
You're killing me, Ross. You're killing me, JR.
Now the missing faction is, I think, made up of everybody that's not in the other 3. So like Billy Gunn and some of the older wrestlers are in the other faction.
Well, Billy Gunn and Tayayoshi or whatever, Yo-Yo Tatsu or whatever the hell he is BCH, Bullet Club Hunter.
Yeah, but there's another little faction of about 5 or 6 of some of the ones that aren't in the big 3 factions.
Right.
I guess big 4 now. Yeah. So there's another one out there. I just don't remember the name.
Now, it also, okay, to Jim Ross's defense, it depends on what part of Japan you're from and exactly what dialect you're trying to use as to exactly how the GUN is pronounced. Now, the Americanized version of it and the traditional contemporary Japanese would be Suzuki Gun. There are fragment dialects in Japan that would actually pronounce GUN as Gun, but not Goon. It's Gun. Big difference there. He's pronouncing it as GOON instead of a full form UN or a short U, kind of, sort of.
Well, that's kind of how them Oklahoma boys go along with their stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Well, even Larry the Cable Guy could have gotten that right.
I doubt it. Just want to put that out there.
My sister is covered in Suzuki Gun. And she needs to go take a shower before the Bullet Club gets here. Because even though Suzuki...
All right, so
Suzuki
I guess to leave it, we're watching Billy Gunn and...
Tanahashi.
Tanahashi, yep.
Rockstar.
Yep.
See, and this is the thing...
Man.
Oh, and they got red shoes. What?
Cool.
I love red shoes. He's a great ref.
Well, gentlemen, as we are at the top of the hour, and it is a Radio Ranch type situation tonight, because I'm going to Six Flags in the morning and I need my beauty sleep. Of course, I could be in a coma for 5 years and not get enough beauty sleep, but hey, what the hell? Optimism or pessimism is symbolic coming out of this weekend as it pertains to pro wrestling, and why, Brian?
Optimist, because New Japan, especially if they come over to the American shores on a full-time basis, will put us through to another age of quality wrestling.
Stanley?
I think we're at an optimistic point of view. We have to be with the success that the G1 special has had for night 1 and night 2, with all of the talk that's come from Cody winning the Ring of Honor World Championship. You've got a lot of positives right now. Just you're not looking in the right place anymore. I mean, I am what a lot of people would call a WWE snob when it comes to certain things.
You're a WWE
same time,
mark.
if you're not, whatever you want to word it as, okay. But at the same time, you have to recognize. You have to recognize what's in front of you, and that's New Japan is bringing it, and they're delivering in a big way this weekend. Ring of Honor has successfully been bringing it for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
And it seems like we've got people finally jumping into that boat. It's a time where WWE can sink or swim, because if they allow the other companies, Ring of Honor, New Japan, and others, to continue to grow as much as they have, and they don't make any type of change, they could find themselves very quickly as to where they were towards the losing end of the Monday Night War. And we live in a world where that could happen.
Suck it, Vince.
Logistically speaking, there are people who are now where I was 2 years ago. Because WWE, SmackDown has been on a steady improve ever since the brand split. The last year, nicely played, with the exception of the women's ladder match. Sucked. Why? If I want summer reruns, oh wait, it is summer. We can rerun crap. Raw has bounced back and forth. They've had moments of brilliance surrounded by even more moments of futility. But then you have Ring of Honor. They have been rock stars. Not TV stars. Not sports entertainment stars. They have been wrestling rock stars, which is what this industry is supposed to be. And then you have New Japan. They are wrestling's rock stars as well. And then you have Lucha freaking Underground. Rock stars. Those three companies have just absolutely been lighting it up. I hate the fact that, I've had to suffer through shows that were 9, 10, 12 months old with an announcer that goes back almost to Jurassic Park. I think we're going to talk about ourselves for the next 30 minutes, even though there's match inside the ring and I can't talk as fast as But Jim Ross doesn't talk nearly that fast. What the hell?
Eddie with the Jim Ross hot take.
Dude, it was horrible. I'm sorry. Mr. Ross, I was a longtime fan of yours. From back in the Mid-South days. Power Pro Wrestling, the UWF. I was one of your biggest supporters when you joined with the Crockett announce team. It's like, yes, he's finally getting that big break. Or bigger break than he already had. Because Bill Watts made your ass. And then you went to WWF-E. Phenomenal. You made the mountaintop. And I don't know what's happened. You sounded, I agree with Stan and Brian, you sounded bitter as hell last night. You sounded like you were more important than the show. You are never more important than the show. I've worked in this industry for well over 30 years. I am never more important than the show. The people inside the ring who from bell to bell put their bodies on the line. Called spots, call it in the ring. Botched spots, oopsies. Doesn't matter. 20-second squash matches or an hour-long Broadway. They're the stars. Sir, what you did last night was inexcusable. Borderline unforgivable. It's time for you to remember where you came from and what made you great. Not good, but great. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm done. New Japan? Damn right. Great chemistry, great show. And I'm looking forward to even bigger and better things. Gentlemen, I'm sorry for the hijacking, but I'm sorry. You know how I get every once in a while, and I apologize for that.
It's all real to me, damn it.
I can get David Wills on here in 5 minutes if you wanted. He can do the quote.
No, I gotta go to bed.
Take it home.
I mean, I can't disagree with what Jim Ross, what he presented last night. It's difficult to argue against it. He's going to have in a big way if he wants to continue to be working with New Japan, because sooner or later the feedback will get back to those in charge. And even a guy like Jim Ross, as we've seen many times with WWE, can get fired. So hopefully things will turn around.
I don't think it was no coincidence that roughly a week ago, Mauro Ranallo went to NXT. I don't think that's a coincidence, gentlemen. That it was so bad just a few months ago, they were done. And now he's going to finish his contract out on a different show away from JBL. I don't think it's a coincidence. It's because they know if they let him go to hit the open market, he's going to New Japan, and he'll be part of the announce team that it would be trouble. It would have been trouble with him.
I mean, Mauro Ranallo is like hot commodity with broadcasting right now, and I think it would be a total mistake to let him go from WWE. If you want to keep that hot commodity, it's not the hottest free agent in wrestling today as far as mainstream. Sorry. It's not Cena.
Mm-mm.
It's not Cena. It's Mauro Ranallo. You need somebody that can tell the story, that can pull it off, and I think that that's where the excitement is. And folks, with what we've seen this weekend, we've got evidence that wrestling is not only doing very, very well, but we've got outside of the WWE. But we might like to see Jim Ross maybe calm down just a tad. Who knows? That's going to do it for Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio. We will be back next week, live and on the air for, holy crap, is it Great Balls of Fire time next week?
Oh, no. Say no, show.
Yes, it's the clap.
Ew.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, it's
I hope
syphilis.
they get this one right. I really do.
Yes, it's WW syphilis.
Oh, wow.
Oh, even better. WW goner
Ew. Ew.
Wow.
And with that,
Goodness
we're going to go
gracious.
ahead and...
Goodness gracious, the grapefruits are on fire.
Yeesh, my biscuits are burning. We're going to go ahead and take it on home, folks. Thanks so much for listening. Feel free to download the replay on Spreaker.com and iTunes. Catch us on the replays in rotation here on Beyond Ringside and ProWrestlingRadio.net. We'll see you next week. Have a great night. Follow the show On Twitter at C2C Radio Show. Facebook, Corner to Corner Radio Show. Brian can be found at STRCP21. I can be found at Stan from Krypton. And that's on the Twitter machine. Rob is Rob Hefner C2C. Eddie can be found at Fast Eddie Lane. Beyond Ringside is at Beyond Ringside. And that is all we got. Have a great night, everybody. Da, da, da.